Hi, my name is Tariq. I'm 25 this year. I'm a photographer and a cinematographer. I got into photography about 7 years ago. When I was having a holiday with my family in Kuala Lumpur. The first photo that I actually took was not by a DSLR, but was actually taken by a camera phone. At that point of time, about 7 years ago, camera phone was a new technology. So I actually own a Nokia N95. So that was the first device I actually used to take pictures. So while I was in Kuala Lumpur at KLCC to be precise, I snapped this photo of this kid by the fountain. And that was the first photo that actually inspired me to explore the world of photography. So from there on, I continued taking photos using my phone, and I actually borrowed my parents' camera and spoiled it. Eventually, eventually I collected my own money, and I managed to get my own camera. And from there on, I explored my passion in photography. Through passion, through self-learning, self-exploration, that is how I find myself into the career of being a photographer and a cinematographer. So today I'm a professional wedding photographer and a cinematographer. I do short films, I do lifestyle portraitures, and I like to interact with people. And besides photography, I like to go and travel the world. Traveling gives me more opportunity to explore the world, get out of the box, get more comfortable. That's what I will say, with people around me, because that's how I break barriers and learn new things. Because to me, photography is just a medium for me to express my story. Photography to me is like a narrative tool for me to share my side of the story. So that's photography. And the reason why I use photography and travel together is because I would like to share my experience with my peers. So I will go around, take pictures, interact with people, and take photos of them. You can actually communicate with one another. Photography to me is like a narrative tool, like I said previously. It's one's way of expressing yourself. So to me, photography is just a tool. I'm not good in writing, so I use photography as a tool to communicate with people. So in example, I travel a lot, so I would like to share my experience with my friends and family. So I use photography as a tool to actually capture them and share with them this experience that I have through the pictures. And sometimes pictures just don't do justice, so that's how I move into videos. So sometimes I create videos to share with my family and friends about my experience that I have during my travel journeys. So in a way, photography helps me express myself. What makes traveling fun to me is because I like to explore new boundaries. In a way, it also helps me in self-exploration. So one thing that I found out about myself is that no one knows is that I can actually try exotic food. For example, when I was in Thailand, I actually ate grasshoppers and crickets while my friends was freaking out. And I actually found the taste of grasshoppers quite nice. If you ask me how fried grasshopper tastes like, it tastes like twisties. So that's how it tastes like. Other than that, I like to cook. I really like to cook. So when I travel, and I will try to be together with the guests. and see what they are cooking, and learn and share with them the recipes of their cuisine, so I can actually come home and actually replicate the dishes that they've actually prepared for me. So that's how traveling makes it fun, rather than I get to see new sceneries, experience new culture. I actually get to learn new dishes, so I get to try new food. So my life-changing experience while I was traveling was a few years back when I was with my polytechnic group. We actually went for this service learning trip. We went to Chiang Rai. We went up to these hill tribe villages for about a week or two. So during that time, we actually stayed on with a few villages like the Lahu tribe and the Aka tribe. So in a way, I managed to communicate and I learned new culture. So I feel, you know, like there's a cultural shock there, because the way they live, the way they sleep, the way they eat, and the hygiene there is totally different from what we experience in Singapore. But the most breathtaking experience that I have was when I was at the peak of a mountain that overlooks the Golden Triangle. So I can actually see, on the right side is the border of Laos and the left side the border of Burma. So it was actually quite surreal, especially during sunrise. It was magical. Some say you have to travel overseas to see this different experience, but you don't have to. Try to be a tourist yourself when you're in Singapore. Just go out, travel, and you can actually find hidden treasures. One way to actually appreciate Singapore more is actually to go to the nature reserve. There you can actually find hidden gems. I tell you, there is so many things to explore when you are in the nature reserve. For example, you can actually see animals that you thought was non-existent in Singapore. For example, the flying squirrel, the flying fox, some rare insects, or even they say some even spotted a kantil or a deer in Bukit Timah. That was a few years back. Now, you just have to go to any water park. I mean, any park that has a water body, you can actually spot an otter there. So yeah, all you have to do is just open your eyes and look around you. So my advice to my fellow Singaporeans, to my fellow friends and family is, stop whatever you do. Go out. Enjoy yourself. Explore Singapore. If you don't like it, get the next flight out. Explore the world. And you will really appreciate whatever you see. Trust me, it's life-changing. How photography helped me look into the world differently is, you are like an author. You are trying to tell a story to your audience, and sometimes you being a subject, you feel like you are in the story. But if you isolate yourself as a third person, you can actually see the world differently. For example, if you put yourself as a tourist in Singapore, you can actually experience and appreciate Singapore more, rather than you experience Singapore locally. It's a two different experience. So in a way, when I go out and take photos, I treat myself as a tourist in Singapore. How I would like to have my photo taken, and how I would like to tell a story if I have an audience not in Singapore. How I will share the story of my experience in Singapore to them. So this is how photography actually helps me see the world and how I see Singapore. DBS has been my bank for almost a lifetime. I have a post-bank savings, and now currently I have my own saving account. And what I like about DBS is DI banking, which make online shopping and transactions much more easier. And since I like to travel a lot, there is this account called my savings account where I can actually transfer a few amount of dollars from my savings account to this my savings account, so that I can, you know, collate and save my money, and once I have enough savings I can actually just book the next flight out. So in a way, my savings account helps me financially in a way that I can go out and travel. So DBS has been very, very, very helpful and very positive and beneficial for me. So yeah.